The room had been decorated to resemble the interior of a sailing ship. It was disturbingly effective. March 20th, 1670 fix. Engaged frigate off Fan Salvador? It was garbage. Huh. I guess being a pirate didn't require too many academic qualifications. The passage went on to describe how Ketch had got wind of the approach of a fleet of English ships. It seemed the new governor had not shared his predecessor's views on Ketch's activities. They were out for his blood. Sailed to that place where I made secure my fortune. I returned safe in the knowledge that the governor shall not discover that which I had hidden. For is it not writ that 'tis easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle?
Hard a port, boatswain.
Aye, aye, Captain Stobart.
She cannot take it, Captain. My lad's dead. Abandon ship.
Captain Frederick Ketch, 1570. Around his neck was a cross. Maybe he was a part-time pirate. The portrait might have made a nice souvenir, but it was too large to carry.
Two bells and all's well.
Pirates were cool.
Yow!
I should have known better than to put my hand in there. Grandma Stobart had a nasty experience in a water butt once. It was an old wooden barrel. Maybe it was from Ketch's ship. It was an actual pirate ship chart. Okay, I've had my hands on an historical document. Now what? The chart fitted exactly into the recess on the top of the desk. That looked like that's where it was supposed to be, so I left it there. That might come in useful, in ticklish situations. It was a neat oil lantern made of brass. Holding that lantern, I felt kinda biblical. Like Jesus or Florence Nightingale. The lantern fitted so precisely in the inkwell, it could only be deliberate. The desk had obviously been cut to fit the chart, or maybe vice versa. It was firmly attached to the desk. That looked like that's where it was supposed to be. The ship looked too fragile to touch. It was Captain Ketch's sea chest. Its battered appearance hinted at salty tales of maritime adventure and swashbuckling. Long months at sea with a rum-sodden, mutinous crew, hardtack and scurvy. And this chest, full to the brim with Ketch's loot, pearls, diamonds, emeralds, and doubloons. On the other hand, it could have been full of spare blankets.
Surprise!
What the? Who are you?
I'm Emily.
What were you doing in there, Emily?
Hiding. What are you doing here?
Grown-up stuff.
Grown-ups? Pfft, I'm never gonna grow up, I'm not. You shouldn't be here. What's your name?
I'm George.
Pleased to meet you, Jaws.
George.
Jaws?
Jeez.
Make your mind up.
What can you tell me about Captain Ketch?
That's him on the wall, in the picture.
Yeah, I know. Scary-looking guy, huh?
He was my great-great-great-great-grandfather.
Yeah, you have his eyes. Why don't you go play with Rio?
I'm not allowed.
How come?
'Cause Aunt Frost says I'm not allowed out of the house. That's why, Mr. Nosy Beak.
Too bad. Why don't you ask your other aunt if you can play with Rio?
Aunt Mina's cuckoo. Aunt Frost says so. She says when the Lord handed out common sense, Aunt Mina was off getting double portions of chin.
That Rio's a smart kid. He helped me outwit Bronson.
Rio is clever. He can spit ever so far.
That cross you're wearing, Emily,
It's my lucky Jesus cross.
it's just like the one Captain Ketch wore.
Uh-huh.
Can I borrow it?
Uh-uh.
Look, an ancient Mayan stone.
Is that a magic stone?
Well, I don't know about that.
No.
What would you trade for that cross, Emily?
A puppy.
Well, I don't happen to have a puppy in my pocket right now. Can you think of anything else you'd trade?
Don't know.
Would you like to play darts?
No.
Oh, come on. I'll throw, you catch.
That's dangerous. Darts will stick in me and make me bleed.
Do you know how to use a theodolite?
We don't learn anything about surveying at my school. Not until 5th grade.
The little girl had cute freckles, cute little nose, and the eyes of a KGB interrogator. Around her neck was a large cross on a chain. It was identical to the one in the portrait of Captain Ketch. The cat made short work of the feather, tearing it into a blizzard of small pieces. What do you give to a small, irritating girl who asks about everything?
Try a conch. Delicate colors, interesting shape, and when you put it to your ear, you can hear the sea.
Yeah, why's that?
Usually because you're standing next to it.
Cool. Have you got one?
Yeah, but I promised it to my sister. She well vexed with me.
Why is your sister mad with you?
Well, last night, when I got home with our supper, she went wild. Rio, she said, how come all you ever catch is puffer fish? A sicker puffer fish. What I want is tiger fish. So don't bother come back home till you catch one, boy. I don't see how I'm gonna catch no tiger fish. All I have is a fishing pole and a worm.
What do you need to catch a tiger fish?
One of them real fancy flies like the rich fishermen use.
Hey, this is just what you need to make a fly.
Thanks. Let's hope them tiger fish hungry. A deal's a deal. Here's a conch.
It was the conch shell that Rio had given me. why don't you run along and play?
Aunt Mina told me, stay out of mischief.
Well, that doesn't mean you have to stay indoors, does it? On a beautiful day like today?
There's a storm coming.
Oh, nuts. You don't know that.
I do so. I can see the whole world from the window.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm busy. Here, I've got a conch. Would you like it?
Dunno. Aunt Frost told me never to take presents from strange men.
I'm not a strange man.
Then why are you called Jaws, Jaws? That's a stupid name.
I'm not called... Look, conch, pretty. Swap for the cross, yes or no? Right, this thing's going out the window.
Okay, we'll do swapsies.
Ketch's cross slipped snugly into the penholder.
What you doing, Jaws?
I've put your cross in this little hole in the desk.
Why?
Impulse, mainly, with a dash of irrational intuition.
Silly. Only women have intuition.
The lantern cast a strong light over the desktop. The light cast a shadow of the cross. And the shadow fell precisely over a small, unnamed island shaped like a skull. That must be it. Ketch's Treasure Island.
Uh-oh. That's Zombie Island. It's a bad place.
No kidding? Well, bad place or not, that's my next port of call.
Can I come too?
The hell you can.
I never get to leave the house.
There were several things I wanted to say to that awful kid, but I held my tongue. I wasn't going to take the cross out of the holder. Somehow I just knew that was where it was supposed to be. There was nothing else on the bicycle wreck I could use. Would you take me to, Zombie Island?
In this weather? You're mad, man.
The rain will keep the zombies indoors. Just say I did meet a zombie. What would you do?
There ain't no zombies on Zombie Island. At least, not anymore. It's uninhabited.
Good. What do you mean, not anymore?
You still want to go?
I guess.
Well, I ain't had no luck with them tiger fish. And with the mood my sister is in, I'll be safer with the zombies.
So, this was Zombie Island. Somehow I'd been expecting something more sinister. Come on, Rio. Let's find that treasure.
No, thanks. I'm staying right here.
Oh, come on. You said yourself there's no zombies left.
Yeah, but that was while there was a big pile of seawater between me and this place. All me have now is this little bit between the boat and the shore, and I'm hanging on to it.
No, it can't be. But it was. My lucky piece of coal. Rio, how far away is Ketch's Landing from here?
Best part of 10 miles. Why?
10 miles? That catapult must have been a lot more powerful than I thought. The outcrop was about the only feature on the cliff face. It was too high. I couldn't get up there. Rio's boat was strewn with fishing nets and tackle. I was quite happy where I was, relatively speaking. That Emily sure asks a lot of questions.
Rest man, this whole Emily business just isn't funny.
Look, we're obviously at cross purposes here. I'm talking about Emily Ketch.
Yeah, and so am I. She was my friend. Her aunts hated it, but we did move together, you know. She used to be real keen at hide and seek. It could take hours to find her. One time, the last time, it took days. She must have shouted and screamed herself hoarse, but there was nobody to hear her.
Where'd she hidden herself?
Captain Ketch's old sea chest. The only way to open it was from the outside.
Suddenly, I didn't feel so good. We never exchanged another word about Emily Ketch. Could I borrow your net?
Yeah, man, no problem. You planning on catching some fish?
Nope. I'm after a big rock. Well, here I go. Wish me luck, Rio.
Good luck, George. Watch out for the walking dead.
I stumbled down dark stairwells for what seemed like forever, until suddenly I found myself, wow, in an abandoned London Underground station. This place must have been closed down decades ago. The machine needed to be fed a coin before it would operate. 1D only was embossed below the coin slot. Something protruded slightly from the slot. The slot was much too thin for my fingers. There was nothing very useful in my bag, just a single hair clip. I pushed the hair clip into the slot and whatever was stuck there disappeared into the machine. I pulled out an old English penny. The machine looked like it had sold its last ticket a long time ago. It was a poster advertising holidays in Scotland. The machine wasn't about to weigh me for nothing. LBS. Lubes? What are lubes? I put the old penny into the slot, the needle twitched rustily and the machine spat out a card. The weight was in imperial units. It meant nothing to me. The card also had my fortune on it. A family quarrel will turn out to your advantage. It was a maintenance cupboard. A latch lock stopped me getting into the cupboard. It looked just like the modern one. The blade of the dagger just fitted between the door and the softwood frame. The door gave slightly and then held firm. The blade of the dagger was too thick to get into the narrow crack. I remembered my student days when I regularly forgot my house keys. A wiggle with the thick cord between the frame and the lock, and the latch lifted. It was a big, red, ever so tempting button. The train signal light still worked. The train was my ride out of there. I could worry about not having a ticket when I got to the docks.